one primary school, 3 little hotels, about 20 campings, over 100 bed and breakfasts, and we are renting 1,500 of these whisper boats, as you can see them here on the right side. And we have about 80 of these big boats to transport 2 million people every year through the village. And we are always lucky that they are not here on the same day, because sometimes in summer all these thousands of boats are on the canal and these 80 big boats are in the canal, and then it is a very big chaos here. But today it's quite easy now. The first people that came to live here in this area, they were monks from the Mediterranean, and they got permission to live in this area, and when they were digging in the ground they found the horns of a goat, and that's why this village is called Goathorn, Giethoorn, Giethoorn, as we call it. But it is because of the goat horns they found when they were digging in the ground. Now in Obusi is in the past there was the hay, and behind that there were the cows, and on the left side there was always a boat waiting under that roof for the case of evacuation, because in the past we had many floods in this area, and this water was in connection with the sea. So when the sea was getting up, the water was high here, and we had to flee for the water. And then they could load in the cows in the boat, household in the boat, and then they could flee for high water. So it was functionality,
Cool.
this kind of bar. Also, this one is a bed and breakfast now.
Paus aja dulu deh, paus. Nggak bisa gitu. Jadi jelek kan. Paus.
The canal is connecting the north side of Giethoorn with the south side of Giethoorn. And this is the south part where we are now, and that's the most beautiful part, and the south, the north, or a bridge. And all these high bridges you see ahead of us and also behind us, and we have 183 of them. They are private bridges and they belong to the people who live here on the right side. So when you live here on the right side, then you have to build your own bridge. Can you please sit down in the front, because there's a boat coming and I can't see what he's doing. It's not allowed what he is doing. This way. So it's not allowed. And this was a mayor, and he wanted to show that he was rich. In the past, it was a sign of
Bontek yang itu coklat itu.
So he put tiles on his roof. Nowadays you're rich when you can afford a red roof, because a red roof is very expensive. For instance, the farmhouse here on the left side is very expensive to have a red.
Every 30 years they have to change the roof.
In the canal, so here in the canal they did it with a stick, moving the boat forward, and here on the right side, now it is a rock museum.
Salah satu arti.
And the next house on the right is in law to be presented. And you got coffee in a blue cup. You were not welcome and not the right part. They give you coffee in a blue cup. Always be aware of it.
Enggak, bawa.
2 trees from the Holy Lord, the tree of life and the tree of wisdom, and this was the tree of life. And such a door inside the house of the fairy tale of Hans and Gretel.
I see myself. He bumped into.
So it's not only fun of
Seat
living here, but
car,
also quite
yeah.
heavy. And for instance, when they are by boat, and they do it here in front of here. But the advantage is you don't have to tell it to your neighbors that you have bought a new television, because everyone has seen it already.
Itu buat yang itu doang itu yang
Behind
camping ground di belakang
fences.
situ.
And that is because about 10-15 years ago we got the first visitors from China, and Chinese people, they don't know private property, they never learned of it. So they thought they were in an open air museum, and they went into the yards of people making pictures in the houses and that kind of things. And since that time, everyone has a fence in front of the house, and also the bridges have nowadays red and white chains, and so they can close the bridges to prevent people to walk to the other side.
That's why they built the fence.
Here again you see such a tree of life, and the top curls they represent the parents, and the bottom curls they represent the number of children they have. Curls there are on the bottom
Tree of
side.
life.
It's also a sign of fertility, such a tree of life. Because the land behind this road, it's two locals between two houses going to the backside. And now you can also see how big those yards are and what's behind those houses. And this one on the left is very open. The first window is the kitchen, the second window is the bedroom. I know that because I've seen it. And here on the right, yeah, he's protecting his privacy. It's both okay. But you must realize 2 million people in front of your house, yeah, you feel like an ape in a zoo. And he came to me, he said, no, I am looking at the apes who are passing by. That's how you can look at it also. But you can see how big those yards are and what's behind, boat houses and big sheds. And when you look into those boat houses, you can see that people who live here, they still use petrol engines. And only the boats that are used in the tourist industry, they are electrified. And that is ordered already in 19 tiles. Everything has to be brought here by boat, and it makes it very expensive to rebuild a house. And we only have 2 contractors here at Giethoorn, and they know exactly how to take the most money from you.